All right, unique Mecca audio here, man. You know what I mean? Today we're going to talk about rules of the game. A lot of people try and say there are no rules because they don't want to play by the rules. But there are rules to the game. There's rules to every game. There's rules to when you're going to school. There's rules in your household. You know what I mean? And there's rules on the street. You know what I mean? Whether you decide to play by them or not, that's on you. But they are rules. Don't get it twisted. They are rules. You know what I mean? Now, I found it best that you play as a team player. You know what I mean? You pull everybody in so everybody eat and everybody happy and everybody partying and everybody having fun. You know what I mean? So it's no time for the guns to come out. So that's why you got to be a team player. But then a lot of times you get people that's not team players. You know what I mean? They're not team players. Meaning they busy watching what you got. They want what you want. Because don't forget, this is a world of negativity. You know what I mean? They want what you got. You heard me? They want everything you got. They want your status, your cars, your jewels, your women. You know what I mean? They want your twisted family structure. They just get fascinated with who you are. You know what I mean? But you got to play by the rules. You can't sit here and have everybody trying to be a chief. And that's the problems that I found out, from traveling throughout the, federal system. You know what I mean? When I got in the feds, is that you get guys and majority of dudes from New York, everybody want to be a chief. Everybody want to be a boss because they from, what's considered as the fastest city. You know what I mean? Everything they say start in New York, so they feel like they have to be a boss. But some of them is not qualified to be a boss. Far from being qualified to be a boss. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So they do what they do. And just know that to enter into the street life where there is a code, you understand? Once you enter into it, you know what I mean? You're entering into a world of negativity. And that comes with consequences. Actions to your reactions. Repercussions that you really don't want. You know what I mean? But when these things come, remember, they're all rules. You know what I mean? And the same way you go out with somebody on a caper and you expect them to keep it quiet one-on-one, you know what I mean? If anything happened, he already know, don't say nothing. You already know, don't say nothing. And that's the way, it is. You ain't even got to say it. You already know when you go on this illegal endeavor that you're going with your man because you trust your man. And if anything go down, he going to hold his and you going to hold yours. And that was never spoken. You know what I mean? It was just something that's embedded in us when we know we're doing wrong, But it's crazy because you get people now that even though they know that when they get caught or the consequences, face them, you understand what I'm saying? Now they want to change that. You know what I mean? They want to modify it so that it fits them and their justification for why they don't want to hold their own weight. Trying to switch their justification for why they don't want to hold their own weight. But you know what type of people you're dealing with from the door. So I'm sure you're seeing these characteristics in this person, but you just chose to ignore it. Or chalk it up to, he just bugging or he wilding, one of our favorite. You know what I mean? But the characteristics was there. So when he do it, you can't get mad. At all, you can't get mad. You know what I mean? Because he already showed you what time it was. So you knew what time it was. He knew what time it is. And then now shit jump off. So what do you expect to happen? You know what I mean? You didn't separate yourself from that individual when you saw these characteristics, which is what you should have did. But when you enter into a field of negativity, you're going to attract negative people. And those negative people, they come with, envy and jealousy and, you know what I mean? And hatred, and they can't even tell you one reason why they hate you. They can't tell you one reason why they hate you other than you're you. And deep down inside, they want to be you. You know what I mean? And instead of just being around you to try and learn who you are and how you are to try and move like how it need to be moved, they on some other time where now they're thinking crazy and envious and devious. And that's why you got, best friends killing best friends. You know what I mean? Brothers killing brothers, sisters killing sisters. You know what I mean? They always envied the other. They was always jealous of the other for something. It was something that was grown in them. It was a scorn. It was a scorn that was grown in them. And when you see these characteristics or these traits that you know is not proper, and you allow it to pass, then anything that comes or falls upon you, you welcomed, and you open that door to it, because you could have went the other way when you saw these characteristics. That's why I say don't get involved in the streets, because you have to know how to differentiate from these characteristics. And you got to know when to move at the right time. And you're going to need to deal with those type of people. You're going to need to deal with them for one thing or another. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how the world is functioning. But as far as dealing with them on something illegal, nah, my nigga, don't do that. Don't do that, you know? But that's where that's at, man. So I just want you to understand that, you know, there's no positive outcome when you're dealing in the negative field of the streets. There's no positive outcome. Because even if you feel that you made it out alive, it's a lot that you left behind that you got for emotional baggage and scars. It's a lot you left behind. It's a lot of bloodshed for you to get to where you got to get where you feel is out. And you didn't get out scot-free because you lost valuable people around you, people that you cared about around you during that time of war, because it was a war on drugs. You know what I mean? Let's get that straight. We ain't gonna play with these games. We ain't gonna twist it up. We ain't gonna do none of that. You know what I mean? But when you enter into the negative field of the street, and that negativity start to pull you, and it's like the gravitation is just so strong, and all these different criminal ideas and activities is coming across your path, and all you gotta do is grab one, and the reward is you go shopping at Macy's. You know what I mean? The reward is you go get your Gucci suit. You know what I mean? Go get your East Lane round suit. You know what I mean? You go do what you do. That's the reward. Reward is you go buy a nice car. You know what I mean? The reward is you buy a nice house. You know? I mean, it's crazy. You know, that's the way it works. But you got to just know that when you enter in it, man, that's why I say in the game that there are no rules. You know? Nothing is certain. And anything is possible. Nothing is certain and anything is possible. You know what I mean? But that's where it's at, you know? But you got to just know how to know that there's rules, man. We got to play by the rules. If we don't play by the rules, we screwing up. End the story. There ain't nothing else to talk about. You got to play by the rules. And you can't only expect the rules to apply when someone else have to play it to being loyal on you. Because the tables turn. Where you got to be the one to be loyal to someone and honed up to your actions because it was you that got caught. And that's all I'm talking about. That's why I say it ain't worth it. That's why I say get out the game. That way you don't have to make these choices. You don't want to have to make these choices. If you even got an inkling that you can't or you might not be able to make these choices, I'm telling you, don't make the choice. Because you ain't ready for it. You ain't ready for it. You don't know, you know, what's the deadliest thing they're going to throw at you. So if you got any inkling about, you know what I mean, standing by what I'm telling you the code is, I'm telling you don't get involved in the game. You know, because like I said, it's all negative people out there, negative pull, negative this, negative that. Don't get it twisted, family. You know what I mean? I'm only here to give you the real, you know what I mean? And that's it. If you want it, it's here. You know what I mean? If you don't, keep it pushing. You know where to find what you want to find. And alhamdulillah, you enjoy what you're trying to find. You know what I mean? But this is all I got here, man. Just so y'all understand. You know what I mean? You know, you get into a negative field. You know what I mean? You get in the field of negativity by hitting the streets. Be able to deal with the consequences to those actions. You know what I mean? And make sure you cop the book of RonG Harlem, man. Make sure you cop the book of RonG Harlem. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. All right, so I'm out.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
6. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them, and bless up the